Hey, what's up, guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars, and today we're going to talk about whether or not you should be using vector artwork for your t-shirt designs on Merch by Amazon. You ready? Let's get started. Now, first thing you should know is this channel is all about using the Merch by Amazon opportunity to invest in your future by using the income you generate from Merch by Amazon to start investing in things like stocks, real estate, things like that. So if that sounds like something that interests you, not just getting this merch money to hold on to it for a little while and spend it on something else, but actually grow your income and build your wealth, like and subscribe to this video and this channel, and tell me a little bit about yourself. I would love to hear where you are on your journey and where you're planning on going in your Merch by Amazon future. But anyway, for the video, why or should you be using vector artwork on your t-shirts? You ready? Let's go. So, vector artwork is something like this, something where you have a picture that is done in a digital format. It could be anything from a really enhanced three-dimensional version of something or just a flat black and white version of something. But these can be used really well to make a somewhat okay text design, an amazing text design that stands out and gets you additional sales and is able to help you. But when do you use this and how do you use it effectively to be that kind of secret sauce on your Merch by Amazon design so that they actually start selling? Well, what is the overall message of your shirt? Is your shirt something that can be reduced to something like a symbol? Or is your shirt something that it takes the actual words on the shirt to convey the message of what you're trying to say? Like a political slogan. You know, you could have Trump as either like a pile of poop or as a bald eagle. Both of those are examples of vector artwork, but neither of them are using text and conveying a message all the same. However, you could also have all the reasons you want to vote for Trump listed on a shirt and all the reasons you don't want to vote for Trump listed on a shirt, and that can basically convey the same message. Either you're for or you're against Trump. Or you can have all of the messages laid out on a shirt, all the reasons you do or don't want to vote for him with an, moderate amount of vector art, like an American flag, like, a crying emoji, or like a pile of poop. If that's how you feel about the president, then you can do all of these things. And it can add to or take away from a t-shirt design based on how you use it and where it's applied. So, how do you use a good amount of vector artwork? Well, you want to make sure that it, like we've talked about before, is relevant. It's not just, you've got a saying on a shirt that is, we'll go back to the autism awareness space. I've got a shirt that says something like, what is it? What you change, or what you can't change changes you. And something like this doesn't really need much of a impactful vector design to go on it. Instead, what it can do to relate to the autism awareness space, because that's really a general quote, what you can't change changes you, can be really applied to a lot of different things. So how can you make it relevant to autism awareness, or how can you make it relevant to things like cancer? Well, you can put a vector ribbon, you can put autism puzzle pieces on it, you can put the text in different colors to make it something like a different awareness thing. So suicide awareness is like a light blue, like a teal blue and a lavender purple. If you put the text in those colors, suddenly it becomes a suicide awareness shirt. So you see how adding and taking vector art from a shirt can do a lot to convey a completely different message. So you, by having a ribbon on it, you're clearly supporting breast cancer or some sort of cancer awareness. By putting puzzle pieces on it, you're supporting autism awareness. And things like that. And changing the color of the text itself is another way to convey a message. So adding vector art in a simple way like that is a nice way to just put that little bit of secret sauce on your designs so that they actually convey and relate to the customer a little bit better. And you're not having to get super specific and twist that quote too much to make it fit into the niche that you're trying to go into. And I hope that makes sense. So you need to also decide on which of these you're going to be better at. Are you someone who is more inclined to be talented at creating vector artwork? Are you someone who can create that three-dimensional look, or do you have amazing graphic design abilities to produce a quality design that can send a message without actually putting text on a shirt? Or are you someone who is a bit wittier? Maybe you are a wordsmith and you can take a phrase and change it to fit what you need the actual message to be on that shirt. Maybe you're someone who can come up with puns really quick, and you're just that kind of person who's funny and able to make up these phrases that don't exist on merch or Pinterest now, put them on a shirt, and then they wind up selling. So you need to find out who you are. Are you the person who's artsy and creative that needs to use vector art to convey the message, or are you someone who can make these witty sayings on your own and just use a little bit of vector art here and there to kind of convey the message and solidify it for who your target audience is? Identifying where your strength is going to be the number one benefactor in this whole situation. Now, if you're someone who has access to high quality art, that is great. And I think that we all should be the people who are giving ourselves the ability to have high quality art, whether it's flat vectors or high quality graphics. You know, not shirts, companies like iStock and Canva and things like that, they have premium versions of their art galleries to give you access to really neat vector art. Some of it flat, some of it very detailed, but having access to this is going to save you a ton of time, and the fact that you're going to have to purchase it means you're not going to be able to buy everything. I mean, unless you're a baller on merch and you can buy everything, but you're going to have to buy stuff. So you're going to need to be selective about what you buy, and that means you're going to know what you have in your art portfolio to use for vector designs, which is going to help make you be focused on a niche. And if you know me, I love being focused on one niche. So if I buy vector, or whenever I buy vector artwork, I make sure that this artwork fits within the narrow spaces that I'm in. And also it gives me a lot of free mental space. I don't have to worry about, oh geez, I've got 500 different vector pieces to choose from, which do I use? I know that I've got maybe 20 vector pieces that do really well and people seem to really identify with. And all I've got to do is maybe combine a few here, change a few colors there. Suddenly it's a whole new design. So getting access to high quality vector art is going to be another thing that's going to set you miles above your competition and really take you that extra mile to spice up a design or just create an entirely new design with pre-provided vector artwork. And above all of that, it's going to be legal. So that is a huge benefit, because a lot of people I know go to Google or they'll research what kind of vector art they need. They'll find a somewhat high quality resolution picture of it. They'll use Photoshop Magic to get rid of all of the watermarks and things like that, and then they'll put it on their shirt. But guess what? If you do this and you make a popular shirt, which if you follow what I do, you're going to be in popular spaces, you're going to be in a space where people see a ton of your designs, then you are very likely to get called out for having the vector art on your shirt, because it's not hard for someone to say, hey, that looks a lot like the vector art that I put up on vectorstock.com and now it's on here. Let me see if this person has access to that artwork. And it's not hard for someone to look up your brand that you put the shirt under on Merch by Amazon, see who owns that brand, and ask for verification that you have legitimate access to that vector art. So if you want to be prepared, I personally haven't ever had this happen to me, but I also don't want to take that chance, because I've got shirts that make me $100, $200 a month. So I don't want to take the chance of someone coming along and saying, hey, do you have the rights to that artwork? And me not being able to give them documentation. So yes, I do have access, or I do have ownership of this artwork. That is an incredible peace of mind, because if you do have designs out there that are not your personal vector art and you've stolen from other artists, that is a liability, and it is possible that it could be a strike against you and cause you to either lose your account or lose that design altogether. So I hope this gives a little bit of light as to whether or not you need to use vector artwork on your Merch by Amazon shirts, and how you should use vector artwork, because how is a lot better than if you should or not. Again, I think we've given a great example, we've made a great case here that vector art, when used correctly, does give your shirts a little bit more of pizzazz than the other shirts on Merch by Amazon. But you also need to remember, is it the image that's sending the message, or is it the message that's going to be enhanced by vector art? Anyway, I hope all this helps. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what tier you're on. Let me know your favorite vector art that you use. Are you someone who uses the same cancer ribbons or brush ribbons over and over? Or are you someone who is able to just have that spice for life and make vector art out of nothing? I love those people. I am not personally that talented of a designer. I'm more of the quick wit kind of guy, and I love making these sayings. But anyway, leave me a comment down below. Let me know which kind of person you are. And remember, someone's going to do something great every day, guys. Why not you? See ya.